Good morning. If you want to distract, to have a glimpse of what is always there, just forget all your ideas about ignorance, about the efforts to attain anything. Forget your ideas about enlightenment. Then it leaves you free to just glimpse whatever is there, which will never be objectified, as the objectification is already an expression, it's already the mind, the time and space. So it's very clear that it's not by working on this goal of enlightenment that you will get enlightened. Free yourself from I wanting something, because it believes in something. Up to you now. I will be happy to hear you.
Who could or would say enough is enough?
Who could say that? The one who is searching. Because he sees wherever he goes, it's a dead end. If it is your experience, then just stop running, knowing that you believed you were running. Actually, what's left never run.
Yeah, but in the mind is searching, so the mind has no power in that sense.
The mind belongs to whom?
Yeah, to nobody in the end. It's just...
In the hand, you assume that, but it's not your experience. Or if it is your experience, honor it.
So you mean I still believe that is in my mind?
So, listen, it is always the mind, as I speak, it's my mind. It's always personal. It belongs to a personal, original, unique I, which appeared in a certain way. Sure. So, at some point, he's exhausted or he's disturbed or whatever strong experience he gets, but he says, no, it's enough. I tried everything, nothing works. But what he didn't try is just not to try. Because if you try anything, even stopping trying, you feed, I am someone.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
One is not aware, but once he is aware, it's amazing that one passes his life hooking at something, gluing oneself at something, to maintain this apparent reality of this world and the one who lives in the world. It's not an obligation. What do you believe?
It's not I cannot catch it really, but it's just it's something like it's the whole range, from blessing to deepest hell in one in this same time, This is how I feel it.
Yeah, the feeling, you may feel like a lift. Sometimes you go up, sometimes down, sometimes in the middle.
Yeah, sometimes it's all at once,
Yeah, that's what I say, but why do you trust your feeling? It is the mind also. Why do you trust your feelings? Feelings are for the world. They will not help you here.
Yeah, I agree, but there are some feelings that are so overwhelming, like jealousy or something like this,
They are overwhelming, but they disappear. At some point they disappear.
Yeah.
Okay, where are you when they disappear?
I mean, I can see that I'm not that.
Okay. Then what else do you want to know?
But still sometimes it gets me, and
sometimes, yes. In time, yes. Sometimes I will look like enlightened, and sometimes I will not look like enlightened. That is in time. That is the appearance of things, of what is.
Yeah. I mean, I had a horrible night. I can tell you this was not pleasant, and but there were also times at half an hour where I was present, without any.
But that's what I say. Sometimes you are enlightened, and sometimes not. You speak of experiences in to about somebody. Yeah? Okay. So you have to know that it is still a manifestation of what you are. So what more do you want to know?
Yeah.
The abundance you hear about is the same than to say you are always that. You have not to make an effort for that. You always are that. But it seems, it looks like in experiences, in feelings, and in the knowing that it goes on changing. And that's all what's going on, you know. That one wants that it is him or her as a person that will get enlightened. This is the basic misunderstanding. Now in this world, no doubt, when I speak of there is an enlightened one, sometimes you will enjoy not to objectify yourself, because you know the peace, the joy, what it brings. You know how precious it is not to be in the mind. So there is nothing wrong with that. It's an enlightened experience that you can get when you search and when some people out of the blue or so, but they don't know exactly what it is generally. And but it will go because it is an experience. So there must be a moment where it is so undoubtful that whatever experience you get, even the enlightened one, is an experience. You include that. What you search, that you are, includes that. You are not limited to that. Then as a consequence, there will be no search anymore, even for the enlightened experiences, even though you may love them and you honor that at times. But you know what it is. Any question? In the journeys of this, the search of who am I, if there is a journey, sometimes it's sudden. We are eaten away by doubts, generally, doubts. And after, we are eaten away by clarity. Now we understand the whole thing, and then what? And all that it shows, it's because there is always somebody. So the thing is not to have cut the branches of the tree. It is to root out the belief that there was ever a real tree. Which is, I am born. Yeah. I think you can pass through hands the mic, please.
Thank you. Good morning. It's been a month since you cracked my ego. I now have a new experience. I'm no longer seeking, but after many, many years, I've started to dream.
It was always a dream, huh?
A sleeping dream.
Yeah, the dream in the dream.
I see it as almost a deeper level, a less accessible level, less controllable level. I'm not sure how to explain it.
Yeah, it's less controllable, sure.
Yeah, so half of me wants to psychoanalyze and dig out the root of what these crazy dreams, where they come from.
Yeah, that's an interesting study, yeah.
Okay, the other half of me wants to say, no, this is just another game at another level, leave it, ignore it. What would you suggest?
You see, you have a life, no?
Yeah.
So if you are searching who you are, I would not take care of dreams. But if you don't search anymore who you are, so you have to do something. If your passion is to dig into dreams, dig into dreams.
This is a new experience for me. I haven't dreamed for many years.
Yeah, but that's okay. I reply to you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
This mind is so complex, you see. It's divided between consciousness, unconsciousness, and whatnot. Please, it's going. Oh, is it? Yeah. It goes on playing. But you see, it doesn't mean you have not to do anything. But at least know what you are doing, from where it comes from and where it ends. Then it's just to spend time in this life, otherwise. Unless you are a natural meditator. But in the West, we are not so sadvic.
Last time, I was very sad to say I don't know
Yes.
to your question. Now I can say claim it happily. It seems to be a difference. Is it a difference?
I will not search for that answer. Don't worry about it. You're just happy to say I don't know. So it doesn't bring any more problem. When you are happy, you don't search for problems. Huh? So you see, the mind is very honest. It's just the total defeat. And in the end, there is joy. Yes.
Sometimes I confuse myself with the observer, and I have a sense of protecting myself, like from not entering any thought, any feeling, like putting a border, and there is a sense of observing,
Yeah,
protecting.
You are the observer, yeah. But what do you do now with the observer? This is the observer has a question because he's very happy to try to control things, but somewhere, because of your investigation, you know there is an observer too much. So why do you want to control this world? You can't. You can't. You have to protect what? Anyway, things happen as they have to happen.
If I don't be alert, I confuse myself with the feelings, with the situation.
You think so? You may have an experience of confusion that is in time. It's like hell and paradise, confusion and clarity. You will always have that dance. It is called, no? This manifestation is called lila, the dance. And we say, ha ha ha, it's only in heaven that we can dance. No, it's hell and heaven which are dancing. You cannot escape that. So if you search, who you are or what is prior or beyond or just now, without looking at that game, at that play. You don't need to be an observer, you just have to keep quiet, not hooking even at the observer. Because it's always here.
I know that point, but it's more in the tension situation, with more tension.
But you will have those experiences. Why? You think that you will not have anymore. That is the utopia of human beings. No, it's an utopia. You will never attain that. Because it's not in your hand. This manifestation is not in your hand. But being freed from those beliefs doesn't transform what you have to live, but it removes the permanent reality in it. And that's a big thing. You know very well something happened, let's speak of bad things, but somewhere you know what it is. First of all, it's in the world, in this expression, and second, you know it will pass. But deeply, not through some torturing intellectual knowledge. It will be naturally like that. You have to give up the idea that you will live in paradise. And it is much, amazingly much more precious than what one conceives, like, wow, living in paradise. This. So,
Yes, I know. I have this strong idea of the paradise. in
Every
some way.
human being has that. Then the Bible is based on that. And all the things.
Thank you.
All the teachings are based on that. Transform yourself. Be more harmonious, love, joy, and knowledge. Actually, those words were not addressed to anybody. It was just a spontaneous expression of what one cannot know. Don't try to understand that mystery. It's like that.
Or being the best mother.
Yeah, you torture yourself to be the best. Do your best, even as a bad mother. Just do your best. What do they?
Good mother, I mean.
No. Do your best, but don't think you will be the best mother.
Not the best, never.
What to do? Same for everything. Same for wife, same for sister, same for daughter, same for boss, for everything. It is so relaxing, I tell you. No more guilt, no more efforts for nothing.
Naturally, I can do it, but
No but. The but is poison, the drop of poison in the mind. You have to trust, you see, there is an intelligence in this manifestation. If you drop those ideas, you will naturally be doing your best. Because, for example, in this case, naturally the love is there. So trust, just trust. And then if you see, oh, okay, I failed, then you failed, that's the thing. The child also chose his parents, so he wanted that failure.
So we don't have nothing in the hands. We cannot. I forgot my question.
You prefer to be quiet or to keep on the question?
Sorry?
You forgot your question, so you can keep quiet. You prefer the question or to keep quiet? The question, getting an answer, even the best, will not help you. You have to understand that. Even though I encourage very much that you put your questions.
So,
it will not be because I give you the best answer. it will be because maybe, hopefully, you really understand it's not about the mind. So what's your question?
So we can, I cannot do nothing because I'm doing nothing. It happens. All is happening. And
Even when you do things, all is
yes.
happening. So there is no much thinking about this. Whatever you decide, whatever you do, if it is successful, it's meant to be. If it is not, it's meant to be.
Yes.
So whatever you like. There is no special attitude to have, otherwise you become also like a lazy one because you cannot do anything anyway. Well, if it works, it's meant to be also.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the question?
I'm referring me to her question. And like a mother, like a person, I'm doing things. I cannot do it different because it's not in. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
But don't forget that you come to Satsang to know what is more than to understand this whole manifestation, because that is a long way. If you know yourself at once, you see everything as it is.
My mind is always saying you are not totally there, but I know I'm this. I know I'm this,
Then
but
keep quiet. You know you are this, then keep quiet. Why to catch what your mind says things based on your past, you know. Don't carry the past.
but the mind is always saying, if you would be there, it's silly, I know, but then you would not think like this.
This is spirituality trap. Because in spirituality, you have to be a better person, looking like divine. That's the goal. Here it's very different. It's to free you from any belief. Any belief. A belief, a single one, even that spiritual, beautiful looking like, but helly one, because it makes you suffer, is still in this manifestation, in the movie, in the mind. Temporary. You will die, you will not even be successful, and then what? The saint dies. A free is not born. more clear about what you want. You see, you don't come to Satsang to have a new belief. You come to Satsang to be freed from any belief. Okay. You have not to look in a certain way. Even for yourself. All this manifestation, with its so-called good and bad, is a manifestation of what is. And why it is dual, otherwise we would not see, otherwise it would be the unobjectified self. So we can speak about, we can point it out, we are searching for it, or we realize it, because there is this duality, there is this expression. But don't try to make this expression one. It will be always two. But what it points out, it's from where it comes. And there is no two, no one. Nothing knows. It is known. Okay.
Hello? So if I do wrong things, wrong in this world, wrong things, it's okay.
Even if it is not okay, it's like this. I don't ask you to be a person accepting everything. You are not a saint. Nobody is a saint that much. Very, very exceptionally, maybe. You have not to have a certain attitude. I am totally in acceptance. Bullshit! Oh, okay. But then you will be someone with this beautiful quality. You will not be free. So you have to know what you want.
Hello, Ganga. I still feel kind of, well, not still, but in various moments, I feel like how to say, like separated maybe? Yeah? Yeah, sometimes I feel like I need to make a choice in between worlds, like my spiritual path, or like going deeper into that, how to make my life the most beautiful movie. And I feel like we're here on earth to contribute the best that comes through us. And at the moment, I do not find a way for myself to connect it.
For me, the best way of this incarnation is first of all to get an incarnation who is busy with this untouchable subject, who am I, is quite rare, it's quite unique. To be busy with a subjective question is quite unique. For me, this is the best, to go for it is the best way to live your incarnation, to try to be freed from that search, which is unique, which is also a blessing. Now, if you have an objective, you are born to contribute for the welfare of this world. It's another path, which is very honorable, but it's different path, because then you are busy with what is manifested. You don't ask who am I, you ask what's my role in this world. How can I have the best role? While Satsang says, don't have role at all, and you will glimpse, you will see, not with the eyes of course, that everything is a movie of what you can see, experience, know and feel. And so you don't need to do anything, it's your destiny which you have not chosen, which came by birth glued to this body and mind, that will express itself. And you have to play a role, it will be done. If you don't, it will never be done. Like that.
So to find out which destiny I came here to fulfill.
Don't interfere by your concept of it. It will be done by itself.
If I just let it.
Anyway, all the persons who are born, I mean all these I living on this planet, they fulfill their destiny. Even if it is by failure and all that, but they live their destiny. But you want or not, huh?
Thank you.
And it's that time it frees you from destiny, because knowing who you are, there is no destiny there, because there is nobody there. But as a person, yes, there is. Look at my master, it's amazing, and we have thousands of examples, but when you see well, he came from a small village in Punjab. And look at his life. Look at his life. His guru went into him, so he went to Tiruvannamalai, and then his destiny was for the world in the end. He was grown with farmers in a small village in Punjab. He didn't have any idea of what. It was his destiny. And some have an unknown destiny, as beautiful.
soon as I get silent and do not keep myself busy with tasks to do around myself, there's always that question showing up, what is the sense of life? And
so you are not quiet with yourself. It's not silence then. Silence is when you are, even though they are passing by thoughts, but you are not disturbed because you don't look at them. They are not interesting. You had enough, you've seen, you had enough. That's silence. The meaning of life is the meaning you give. That's your destiny.
Ganga?
Yeah, hi.
I have a question about what you just shared. Just to understand, did you say now that it's either you have a spiritual life or you contribute in the movie, in the person, or is that not what you said?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said that the spiritual life is included in the movie.
Okay. Thank you.
And anyway, free or not, you live your movie. Free or not, you live your movie. Beautiful sentence that Ramana said to Papaji when there was this partition moment. Papaji was in Arunachala in the ashram of Ramana, and in the morning Ramana tells him, you have to go and save your family in the north, in Punjab, because there is a war. And Papaji replied to him, but you showed me, oh, this is a dream. I just want to stay at your feet. But Ramana told him, live your dream. And he did it. I find it's an amazing teaching. Yeah.
I find that in satsang it's way easier to be silent, to stay quiet, you know. But after not in satsang is more difficult. Yeah, it is.
The mind is more busy, yeah.
So, and my question is, there is any trick or thing that can help to be in satsang?
First of all, did you lose yourself when your mind is busy?
No,
Then nothing to say.
just not to worry about it. Just
Nothing to say.
okay.
You live your dream. But truly, myself, I give great importance in the sense of I give great joy to have a space like Satsang. Because it's true. For some reason, generally we don't allow much ourselves to do that in the daily life. And here we know, we enter and we don't listen to the mind. Or if we listen, you tell it. So it's an occasion to, I think it's very nice to include that in your life. That's all. And never forget that whatever you experience, it looks like real. It looks like I am busy. Yeah, you are busy, but who am I? Am I somebody busy? You see, just don't try to, it's a life affair. Not necessarily in the sense of search, but in the sense of, it's a life. You cannot do otherwise. There is no much separation.
Yes, my question rise also because you so said it's about Papaji, this story, and in a way he had to leave the satsang to be next to
Yeah.
So,
but he didn't leave himself. Okay.
he didn't leave they said so in yes,
You said. Whatever made him stay at Ramana's feet, which was absolutely unobjectified, this never left him, whatever he does. But he needed to hear this from Ramana. Now, well, who cares? Live your dream. Otherwise you will make it an absoluteness, you see. Only this way of silence, only this is real. Wrong. Everything is that. And it doesn't mean you cannot enjoy those moments of absoluteness, sure. You enjoy it. And as you are the enjoyer, it will go. It's your experiences. I very much learned not to make this separation between the so-called life and satsang. Because when I lived with my master, there was nothing like formal satsang, which I appreciate immensely. But it was not like that. So while making tea, he would be in such a silence, or he would say just a word which throws you back. It was like satsang. So while doing things, you see, he showed me that there is no separation. It's a life like that. I found it much more. It was a blessing to start this way rather than to start to meditate, and then after you are, it's a hell. What should I do with that meditator, which is too much? Because generally one loves to be a meditator. Anyway, it's like that. Yeah.
Earlier when I was shooing away the mosquito, I actually told you that I said not to bite me. What I said to it is, don't bite. I didn't say don't bite me, I said don't bite, which is, I realize is ridiculous because it's arguing with its very nature, which is to do that, right? But we've been staying in a caravan where there's been a lot of mosquitoes in it. It often have kept me awake, even with earplugs. And I have gone through these things where I've allowed mosquitoes to bite me because I felt like I didn't want to kill them. And one time I had a bad reaction. So since then I haven't done that. And I'm bringing this up because for me it's actually an issue to kill something. And I even though I say a mantra when I kill a mosquito, I have done in the last while. I've killed a bunch of mosquito. I'm left with feeling
but they are
bad
lucky.
about it.
No, it's their blessing. If they have a mantra, then they will be born. Kill more and say mantras. Don't torture yourself with those ideas. Say mantras, okay. I also, when I see something, I say Swaha, whatever, good wish. But don't torture yourself with ideas. You could be so much more to all that energy. It could be so much more given to keep quiet in yourself and to be busy with the idea, killing, not killing, bad killing, machin. Just be natural. And of course, with a good wish, it's always good.
Thank you.
The self-inquiry is something that helps to keep quiet.
For a while, huh?
For a while.
As long as you think you are a seeker.
Yes.
But who obliges you to believe you are a seeker?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's why it was my master words, but I like to repeat them. Second best. Best is to keep quiet. Second best, investigation.
So if it's best to keep quiet, and it seems that very often when I'm in the space with you, and I've noticed many are in the space with you, we do go into a quiet space. Yet you often invite questions, and what is the reason for that?
Because if there is a question, it has to be rooted out. If you keep quiet with a question in the drawer, it's not quiet. Open all your drawers if you think you have, and let all the ghosts appear and leave you.
Like the mosquitoes.
In this, when you liberate yourself from your mind, it's not needed to just, you don't suffer with the suffering of the world. Or
Ah, really? The world is different than you?
But you don't suffer as
Really?
with your mind.
Oh, strange.
I don't understand.
There is nothing you cannot do.
Nothing to do. Yes.
No, there is nothing you... What's that?
Not to do nothing. Well, you don't have to. That's what you cannot do.
And all the people that is praying for compassion and not suffering and whatever, to help in some way, in a spiritual way, doesn't make sense. It's like dream, no?
If you are in circumstances, you can help. If you are in circumstances, would be natural, you think, if someone is starving and whatever, not to react? You think it would be natural? No. You just react and then forget. And don't call it compassion or not. I mean, it's just natural. Don't worry about those things.
But praying, for example, is duality. Praying for the world, praying.
But pray if you like, but I mean, know that you like to pray then. It's personal.
But it's duality.
Yes, of course.
Doesn't help in the
it may
liberation.
Help. It may help. Who knows, the vibrations, they travel quicker from here to Japan. It's quicker than we think. Maybe a vibration will be caught by someone. But I mean, this is to be busy in the world. And why not also? But don't forget the essential, and then you see. Everybody wants to help before they are themselves helped. Which kind of help? You have to give your bullshit then. You help sharing your beliefs. It's not help. Ramana was very concerned to read the newspaper every day. Why? It's funny, before people were asking less questions and there is nobody asking him, but why do you read newspaper when you are beyond all that? And nobody were asking questions that you ask now. It's funny.
Also, Papaji was. I saw pictures with
yes, and he was very concerned of, oh, they are making clonage now, clonage? Huh? Yeah, whatever. And this and that, and oh, you know, and then forgets and it's life. It's a movie, you know? It's a movie. Otherwise it would be a Zen movie. Not for everyone, but generally it would be. What's the time? Last question or last consideration. Okay.
Ganga.
Yeah.
I came to the conclusion that anyone has nothing to do. Is it the will or the desire?
No.
That
I think it's because you see that, yeah, really in this world, how can you do anything to know yourself? Nothing. And then you live your world, you live your dream. Very nice.